It's day 2 of the Democratic National Convention, and more big names will be taking to the stage tonight. Former President Barack Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are scheduled to speak later on. CBS News Minnesota reporter Caroline Cummings joins us now with the very latest. Caroline, what can we expect from the Obama speeches tonight? What are you hearing?
Good morning, Vlad. So tonight, both the Obamas, the former First Lady Michelle and, of course, former President Barack Obama, will both speak here tonight. And they're both going to focus on why they believe that Harris and her running mate Walz are the candidates for this moment, especially for Michelle Obama's part. She's going to talk about how her experience makes her uniquely qualified to be in this position at the top of the ticket. And President Obama also may reflect on that relationship he has with Harris that goes back decades to when he was just a Senator Barack Obama before he became President Barack Obama. So their relationship is really long-standing and strong. She has connected with him over the past couple of months, and he has always made himself available to lean on, to give advice if she's seeking it. And so that relationship is strong. And he's also going to just make the case to Democrats that the stakes are high in the next 11 weeks on the course to Election Day, that Democrats will really have to kind of double down on their focus and their energy coming out of the DNC. And he will be making that case to Democrats here and Americans looking on, as he is one of the most prominent Democrats to speak here at the convention this week, Vlad.
Yeah, and so, Caroline, given that you live and work and report from the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, just how popular does former President Obama remain within the party? It's said that he and President Biden have had a tense relationship over the past couple of months as pressure was ramped up to have the president consider stepping aside for the vice president. But in terms of the weight that Barack Obama holds within the party, my guess is that it's fairly significant even to this day.
Right, that's right, Vlad. I'm actually based in Minneapolis, but here in Chicago. But I can tell you that from the Minnesota delegates that I know and have spoken with, and from other delegates, you can feel the sense of excitement for really every speaker that's been up here last night. For even President Biden, there was "We Love Joe" signs, as I'm sure you saw and heard those chants last night as well. And President Barack Obama really is seen as that his historic candidacy is not lost on this group here, especially as Kamala Harris has a historic candidacy of her own, and he still really does carry a lot of weight with this party. Obviously, significant presidency, but still seen as a leader within the party with a lot of influence to this day.
All right, Caroline, and I am not going to be that New Yorker who says it's the Midwest. Yes, you work at CBS Minneapolis. Very different from.
I'm in Chicago. It's easy to get mixed up there, Vlad.
I love it. Thanks so much, Caroline. Appreciate you. Okay, sticking with what's happening at the DNC, security, of course, is still a top concern on day 2 of the convention. Following pro-Palestinian protests, thousands hit the streets to speak out against the Biden administration's stance on the war between Israel and Hamas. CBS News foreign correspondent Roxana Saberi is in Chicago right now as the doors reopen. She is based in Chicago. And she can update us on how things played out yesterday and what they can expect for this afternoon. Roxana, good to see you.
Good morning, Vlad. We're just a couple blocks north of the United Center, which is that building back there, and that's where delegates are meeting in the evenings here at the DNC. Now, last night, crews added additional fencing behind me, and our cameraman John is zooming in so you can see. So protesters had breached the outer barrier here, the outer barricade nearby here, about a block away. But police stopped them before they got to the inner barrier, which is closer to the United Center. So what happened last night after this breach in the barrier, crews put in this middle fencing, this additional fencing. So what happened yesterday was some protesters broke off from the main protest, the main march, and some were carrying pro-Palestinian signs, shouted shame. They tore open the barriers. Some got through. Our team witnessed some protesters throw water bottles and signs at police. Police in riot gear, though, pushed them out. Our team there said they didn't see the officers using any tear gas or pepper spray, but they did arrest a few protesters who got through the fence. I want to point out, though, Vlad, most of the protests were peaceful yesterday. We saw perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 protesters marching along a 1-mile route. Many were calling for an end to the war in Gaza, an end to U.S. aid in Israel, and many told us they feel Harris represents a continuation of Biden's policy on Israel. Well, after yesterday's breach in this barricade behind me, Superintendent of Chicago Police Larry Snelling said his department would reassess the security situation, and Chicago Police plan to address security and safety concerns in a media briefing this morning. Vlad.
All right, Roxana Saberi reporting for us from Chicago, the epicenter of where all is happening in the political world this week. Thank you, Roxana.